county and give us wisdom on our decisions. Lord, give us wisdom and discernment each and every meeting. Thank you for the staff who comes and helps and supports in our decision-making. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I forgot to ask if you wanted more rain.
Well, I'll take more.
Oh, okay.
We missed out on one round of it, but we got some last night, so.
Did you get it yesterday morning during church?
No, last night.
We had it right during church. It was this thunder came, and we were like,
Lord, that's spoken.
it was beautiful.
So, your name again?
I'm Camille Nichols.
Okay.
She's on the agenda. We can move her up if you want. She's the letter of support at 8:30.
Yeah, I didn't see her name. I seen yours, so. No, that's fine with me. We don't have any, unless Carl's got something to say. Okay.
Do you mind?
No, I don't mind at all.
Okay, so if you want to come up
Sure.
with the girls.
Sure.
You want to sit up here so you can be on the camera so you can look at it at home?
Let's stay right here.
I can get right, oh my.
We don't have adorable
Good
people
Lord.
like this all the time. So anyway, I had sent this letter, this request from Logan and Camille. They're building a new house and they're getting some of that NRCP money. I'm so grateful somebody's utilizing that funds. So anyway, they had requested specifically what they wanted us as a commission to address, which was number 1 and number 7. And that's how this letter was drafted up. And I just spoke with, well, through text messages with Logan this morning, her husband, and they do have well, maybe you need to say it. Go ahead.
Well, we already have the sewer and everything. We're able to just tie into the one we have now. We're just adding a half bathroom. Otherwise, it's all the same. So,
Where's this at?
906 North 250th Road, Solomon is the address, anyways.
Solomon?
Yeah. But it's actually just east of Bennington.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, are you in, what township are you in?
We're in Ottawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Ottawa County, but are you in Ottawa Township as well?
No, she did.
No.
You're 250th? Are you 250th?
50th, or no,
Yeah.
she said 50th.
Yeah,
250th.
Yeah,
Is it Ottawa?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
Ottawa Township, Ottawa County, okay.
Anyway, so,
So I drafted this up based on the
did you print it too?
request. No, Tammy put it on the nice letterhead. No, I'm sorry. The letter's in
Do I
there.
have the wrong one?
It looks like this.
Oh, I've got that. What's this?
That was the information that they sent us
Okay.
regarding using those loan monies,
Right,
that
gotcha.
funding available.
Okay.
So I drafted this letter, and then I talked to Trude about it, as I noted in the letter, and he said a sanitary sewer permit from Philip Morrow or sanitarium. And then Logan sent me that text message this morning saying they're using the same sanitary system. So Truett just said this morning, so then I texted him early this morning, and he just said that we just need a okay letter from Philip to use the existing ones. So I think we can go ahead and sign this letter and just ask them to reach out to Philip Morrow and to get an okay. How do you guys feel about that?
I just wonder if we ought to let him look at it for, I mean, I don't doubt that there's not a problem at all. But I didn't know if we ought to have him,
Well, the way we drafted the letter is the only remaining approval needed is a sanitary sewer permit.
okay,
So we have that in there, so I think if Philip just
what do you
says
think?
the existing sanitary sewer is okay,
He has looked at it, or he
He
has
hasn't,
not?
but,
He has not.
they did send a copy of the original permit when they did it 6 years ago, so we can forward that to Philip as well. But we said ours is subject to his approval, basically, so I don't think we're the limiting factor anymore. Does that make sense? I think the letter is okay as drafted. You'll just have to call Philip Morrow and, send that document that Logan sent and said,
Have you
Yeah.
spoke with him at all?
I don't
Or
believe we
you're-
have. I don't think so. We just have to, so as part of the like grant and everything, just to get into like the second round of approval, that's where we're at, I guess you could say. So you guys are just part of the list that we had to have on there. So
Alright. Well,
I don't think we
think
have.
it's a problem as long as it specifies there, it has to be, to bind it,
Approved.
it has to be approved by him too, so.
Sure.
yeah, and so, I don't know, do we have cards for Philip?
I got his number.
You do?
So we have,
You wanna
is this the
write
one
that?
we wanna sign?
Sure. Do you wanna give her the number for Philip?
I don't think he ever did give me a card. I've got it.
If you guys wanna do a motion, if you wanna sign it.
I'll move to approve the letter, to Kansas Cooperative Loan Waiver Committee on behalf of Logan and Camille Nichols to be signed by the commission.
And, yeah,
I second that.
it's moved and seconded to sign this letter of, recognition or
Approval, yeah.
With the understanding that sanitation director approves it. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Alright,
Aye.
I don't think he had any cards ever.
All these cards and you think I'd have one.
I don't think he,
And Carly, if you can get a
You
copy
have
of the
a-
letter, so I can have a.
Yes, I was gonna go do
can you
that.
write?
Perfect.
Do what?
Can you write?
Yes.
With your hands full there?
Yeah.
785.
Okay.
545 6904. Just so you know, he sounds gruffy and grumpy, but should be a problem.
Okay.
And you can tell him I said that, I don't care.
Okay.
I'll give you the original one.
Perfect. Thank you.
And then here's for Tammy. All right, sorry to make you girls get up so early.
Oh, you're okay.
Do you get up early anyway?
You go to school yet?
Yep, we do. We go to preschool 2 days a week, so.
But you didn't go today?
Nope, it's tomorrow and Thursday.
So
But
you had to get up early today just for the meeting?
yep.
Pretty fancy looking and dressed up.
Well, we appreciate you girls coming,
Yeah.
brightening our
Ain't
day.
Nobody has
You
any
too.
candy.
It,
What the
Kyler,
heck?
Kyson.
Kyson.
Yep.
I'm gonna get it before it's
What
4.
are you thinking about? You didn't bring any candy for him? Don't have any,
It's okay.
sorry. All right.
All right.
Good to see you girls and
Yes.
the young man.
Make me feel guilty, Scott.
Well, you can probably put some on your desk and then never need it ever.
I know.
True.
All right, well,
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
guys.
glad to see you girls. And
Yeah.
behave for your mom.
Yeah. Do that.
Madeline. Good to see you, Madeline. I have to say it a few times to get it in
Yeah.
my head.
Yeah. You can say bye.
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 Thank you guys.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Okay, Dwayne?
The museum board has not gotten back with me on the MOU that we presented to them. I did talk to Keith after the meeting last week and made some changes to be a little more explicit in the maintenance that we provide. You know, they buy the parts. Keith said he could probably put it in, whether it's a blower motor, a thermostat, or some of this little stuff, you know, it would be terribly time consuming for him, but it would save them a lot of labor.
Are you putting it at his discretion? Are you putting it that way?
Yeah.
That he gets to make that decision?
Yeah. And he will assist them. He was very open to the idea of assisting, you know, as far as even locating an HVAC unit or something of that nature, doing some research on a good unit and stuff, because Keith knows the business, and thought they were going to have it signed and back to me, maybe there was a hiccup, they didn't tell me, I haven't heard anything from them, so I'm assuming that the museum is on board with the MOU.
Right, you haven't, no, it's final
Yeah,
to
no
approve.
final, nothing final for us to look at.
You wanna call Shelby,
Is she next on
see if
there?
she can come up? She's 2 or 3 down, but the other gal's not supposed to be here for another 45 minutes, so.
I can text her here.
Is it beneficial at all to send that letter to Phil Morrow to see what we approve? Or you don't think that's necessary?
Probably wouldn't hurt. I don't know how we get it to him. I could email it,
I think we could even
scan it, email it.
I was just gonna take a picture of it and text it to him.
That'd be fine.
Actually, I should probably take, he doesn't have to see our signed one, so I can use the one in here. I'll put a note to send
I
it.
just didn't want him to think we were going ahead of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had said subject to, so I think you should understand.
If you like, you do the shredder services, that would go too, never mind.
Thanks, Shelby.
Didn't take the time to
She
text
literally
back.
ran up, I love that, she ran up the stairs.
I had everything ready. So I just wanted to come and talk to you guys and let you know where I'm at with my department and what's going on. Fiddler did finish my initial drop of documents from converting, and it looks like they converted about 45,000 documents, and so over the next however long our department has to do what's called back indexing of roughly 4,000 records that either had need attention to dates, something happened to the images that they think I should rescan and make them better, or if the legal in their eyes looked a little funny, so they just want me to oversee
Did
it.
they review all those documents?
Yep.
Before they put them into their system?
Yep.
Wow.
Well,
Did you expect that?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what we paid them to do.
Well, I figured we had the other service that we paid to do that as well.
No. So when you go from one data point to a different data point, the old record system just gave them like a data drop, and so they have to convert it to make it work with their system. So presumptually, as long as the data played nice and went where it was supposed to, they're presuming that's right, and taking that for the word. But there was about 4,000 of them that were they thought was wonky,
Okay.
which is great. They said that was the lowest conversion ratio they've ever seen,
Oh, wow.
That is good.
which is amazing. So that's kudos to Ardell and Maryland for great record keeping. Also, I wanted to bring up that I have signed up to go to some conferences. Fiddler offers a synopsis, I don't know if I say this word correctly, every year, and that will be May 18th through the 20th. It will not only be Kansas Register of Deeds, it will be any state that they service nationwide. So I think that'll be very beneficial for some networking and learning.
Where's that at?
It will be actually in Illinois. Their home office is in Iowa, right along that river, I want to say. But I think it is a very opportune. It'll be like, they call it a mini PRIA, which is another national level of Register of Deeds that I don't think that we can afford to go to, but this one we definitely can, and it'll be very much a learning experience for me.
Cool.
So I'm excited.
So I have to ask, do you have money in your training budget for it?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yep.
it.
So once we get there, the hotel cost is actually pretty minimal. Fiddler picks up the majority of it.
Wow, that's nice.
And then it'll just be me getting there. Otherwise, once I get there, everything's taken care of, and we don't actually have to pay to go to this.
Oh, wow.
We just take care of our stay and travel.
Okay,
So,
that's good.
and then June 9th through the 12th, I'll be in Colby for the Register of Deeds annual seminar there, which I'm very excited for. It sounds like they have a lot of fun events planned. For me.
Somebody was going to, it wasn't you, was going to, up to Yucatan, I thought.
I went to Stockton
I
for.
think it was Jody that was going to Yucatan. I thought,
Oh.
what in God's name?
That's way down there in the corner.
It's over there, way over there.
I guess they could go, is Liberal close to it?
Pretty close.
It kind of just depends on our districts. So like we share that corner kind of. So it was their turn to host, and
Right.
so yeah,
Good reason.
it was very fun.
When was that date again? Was that the 9th of May?
9th through the 12th, Colby?
Yeah.
Colby.
Yeah.
In June.
Yep.
Good.
So, Jennifer's gonna be here for both those times.
Yeah. Yep. No problems there. I'll take my laptop, so if there's any issues, I can jump on and help as much as possible. And then, fun update, I went to our Fiddler Spring meeting in Wichita last week, someday. My days are running together. And the president of the company actually showed up down there, and he told us and updated us on our ADA compliance for our website has been pushed back 1 year.
Oh, they just announced that, yeah.
Yep.
They announced it for the big cities, so you can tell they must be struggling
Yeah.
across the state.
Mm.
I still think it's a good thing they have the big counties have to do it, and cities and counties, the first year, so we can piggyback on them a little bit, let them incur the learning cost. Because CIC, CIC doesn't affect our website.
Yes,
does?
they're currently
They
hosting
are
and managing,
hosting.
and they're not doing anything with it, but they're providing the platform for us to use.
So will they ultimately be involved with the ADA side?
No.
It's strictly on the county.
They'll be on the county?
Yep.
Well, like I said, I think it's good that when they have big counties have to do it first, so we can piggyback on their expertise maybe.
I wouldn't
Networking.
always consider theirs being expertise, but
They
Yeah.
go through their learning, growing pains.
yeah,
We can minimize our growing pains.
there you go.
Hopefully.
Yes.
I still want to continue with the website committee just to see what may be out there, but also we're not as time pressed as we thought we were, which is a benefit. So we can actually spend the time researching and trying to figure out the best solution without having to just
Panic.
hope for the best.
Panic.
Panic, yeah.
Is there criteria somewhere what an ADA website looks like?
So we actually went over that in our meeting, and there's very much how Carla reads it, how Scott reads it, how you read it, how I read it.
Depends on how
Um,
you,
It's all about interpretation. It is 100% a lot of legalese, and Fiddler spent a lot of time trying to break down, because not only do they provide their recording software, they have websites for property fraud alert, the notary fraud alert. Those are all standalone things that they were trying to get past because they're required as well. Mainly this law is going into effect for like counties and states, but as a second-hand vendor, they have to have some compliance as well. And
You just said states and counties, cities don't have to?
I'm
I
not
was
on
just curious.
I'm not
Sorry.
on a city level. They were
I know.
talking state and counties,
Okay.
so
I was just curious.
I would have, I don't know. But I think it's good news for us to be able to actually sit back
Right.
and figure out what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hard to hit a target when it's moving.
It's hard to hit a target that's not black and white
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
'Cause my interpretation on something may be completely different than somebody else's.
Right.
Well, I
That's
appreciate
kind
you.
of a bad thing too, because I mean,
I feel like this is not a black and white scenario, and even Fiddler has commented that it's not black and white, and it's very much up to interpretation. They're hoping the complexity of what they're trying to push maybe gets seen in the next year, and it may back off, but they don't. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen other than they gave us a little bigger
Right.
timeline.
That's a start.
It's a start.
Well, I
At least then
appreciate
we
your
could get the
update.
funds together.
Yeah, I appreciate your update and you letting us know what trainings you're gonna go to. I really do, in advance.
Yeah.
Thank you.
it's nice to know, instead of saying, "Whoa, she was there."
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Well,
And that's happened.
I mean,
Not
there's
from you. I mean, I'm just.
yeah, there's some little meetings that I go to that if I'm gonna be out of the office, I'm not gonna pester you guys about. But when I'm gonna be gone for a few days in a row, that's something big and
Right.
exciting. I think you guys should know that
Yeah,
I'm out
no,
there.
I appreciate it.
Out there supporting and hopefully learning more stuff.
Yes, yes.
I might be getting overwhelmed, but knowledge is power, so
Thank you.
yes, thank you guys.
Have a good day, week. Tammy, do you want to talk about the shredding?
I sure can. So I have a request for action. This is a request to obtain shredder services through Secure Shred, a mobile document destruction. Secure Shred, Secure Shred would provide monthly pickup of county shredding materials. They have 3 different container sizes. I am requesting that we use the smallest one to begin with, which holds up to 50 to 70 pounds.
Wait a minute here. How often are they gonna do it?
They would come monthly to pick it up.
Okay, that's probably big enough then.
And there are larger containers. The great thing about this is it is a 30-day contract, and he will help us kind of obtain, hey, it's full every time, do you wanna move up? Or hey, it's only half full, should we move down? So that's why he has that 30-day window, we can tweak as needed.
Well, I wonder, I probably ought to just wait till they come and talk to them. I've got taxes clear back in the 80s that I need to get rid of. I just wonder, I don't want to piggyback off the county, I'll pay, but I didn't know if they,
Well, and it might very well be something that maybe we talk about having community shred day. Some banks do that sometimes. Might be a nice service that maybe one time
Yeah.
a couple times a month, hey, can we do
Or a
that?
couple times a year.
So I can talk to him about that, if you guys choose.
no, I think that'd be a good idea.
It's taxpayers and let them utilize it.
Maybe we could tie it to tire recycling day or something.
And then,
Okay.
I've talked with multiple departments, they're very interested. I know, like, around my election stuff, I have a lot. We all at different times of year have a lot. We do have shredders in our office for some one-offs, but as maybe those start to no longer work, maybe you don't replace them, we just do it this way. It is a secret. District court is, so right now, we put one up in district court, we put one down on the first floor. And then I am in the middle of talking with the sheriff to see if they want one. If we get 3 boxes, we could potentially get a discount. I don't know how much, but we can discuss that. So essentially, it's $540 annually for 1 box. And I am proposing that we take it out of the miscellaneous budgets.
So you are proposing just one for district court for 45 as well? Do we approve that as well?
It's up to you guys can. I know they're interested. I assume that our county attorney would also be able to utilize that.
Do you want us to wait on that to see if they wanna make that recommendation, or?
They want one.
Oh, okay.
They've said they want one.
Okay. And so we've never had this service before? Any kind of shredding service before? What do
Not
we
that
use?
I'm aware of.
We just had the individual ones in the people's offices? Is that all we've ever
There's a
had?
shredder in.
We did have one come in here before you were here, but
Yeah, I would say
it wasn't on a schedule. I just remember it being here once.
And I like that the box is secured and locked, so once somebody puts something in there.
That's what I was just gonna ask. So when since it's different departments using it, they stick it in there, you can't pull it back out.
Right.
So that's why various departments can use it.
Mhm.
I get it, makes sense. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and approve the, contract with Secure Shred at a cost of $45 per month. One for, the courthouse and then one for the district court.
Yes, and it's 45 per box.
Right.
Okay, just wanna make sure I
Per
didn't.
box,
I put
per box per month?
Well, they bill us the first month and then after that, they'll bill us annually, or you don't know how they're gonna bill
I
us?
believe it's monthly, but I can ask them if you can those.
Okay.
I think it's monthly because it's a 30-day contract, so it is monthly, excuse me.
Monthly, okay, so the $45 for the courthouse will come out of miscellaneous, will the $45 come out of district court?
That's what I was proposing, if
Okay.
that works for you guys.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve, partnering with Secure Shred at a cost of $45 per month for, the county offices to be taken out of the miscellaneous budget, and then a second, container for the district court, which will be $45 a month to be taken out of the district court budget.
I will second it if we can have some discussion. There would be 2 total shredding containers, one for us, the courthouse at large, and the district court would have their own. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. It's moved and seconded, to approve the $45 per month per box, and there will be 2 boxes, one for the, miscellaneous for the county, and one for district court. And, it'll come out of each of their, monies. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Let's see.
70 to 90 pounds per box, container.
If they go over that, it's another 45, I assume.
Well, we'd have to, they're giving us a 30-day window to decide if we can,
No, it's
need a
50
bigger
Yeah,
container.
it's 50 to 70 pounds per box. I mean, that's what it holds. It won't hold anymore. So once it's
You in
full.
favor?
No, I see what you're saying.
All those in favor?
Yes, aye.
All those opposed? None. Okay. Now we can pay some bills. Have you, of course, Carl hadn't had time to pay us.
Well, I did look at them, and maybe you guys, I was gonna ask Chris, cause he was supposed to be up here before, but
Yeah, I got a question for him too, so let's wait.
I can approve the minutes.
Okay.
Move to approve the commission minutes for April 20th as presented.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to approve the commissioner minutes for April 20th. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. So the mental health person will be here at 9. Do you wanna try to get Chris up here before, or do you wanna?
Just as well, I'll call him. Maybe he's not, we'll see. Are you around? Yeah. Yeah, we could. Okay, well, if you don't get back here right away, that's fine, but we got a half hour before anybody's here, so. All right, thank you. Bye. He's out in the shop, but he was headed this way. All right, let's see here. Well,
Want to do clerk comments?
not really.
Okay. Tuesday through Friday at my, conference for Kansas County Clerk and Election Officials Association.
This Tuesday?
This Tuesday through Friday, it's in Garden City. It is statutorily required that we attend. So somebody has to be there. I did wanna give you guys an update on, the regional commission meeting. We had discussed possibly looking at Mike Montoya, and he has agreed, and so the next step is getting the regional commission together and having further discussions. So as I get, more information gathered, I'll let you know when that is.
Can I talk on that just a second? Just a little bit? So when we were at the KAC meeting, several of the smaller counties have trouble finding county counselors as well. And so I asked Mike Taylor if the person that's gonna replace Jay Hall could be our county counselors for smaller counties, cause they have all the expertise. They were saying that they're struggling providing a salary. They said the reason why Jay left was because of his salary. And, so if the counties could contract with him to be their county counselor, that would allow them to hire easier to hire someone, but also gives us the expertise of county counselor. You know how I think Jay Hall always said, this is what I think, but you need to check with your county counselor, right? Isn't that usually how it progressed?
I never was ever, no offense to Jay Hall, I liked him. I never was satisfied with anything he ever told me, because it was never definite.
But he always said you need to defer to your county
Yeah,
counselor.
well, I don't want that to be that way with that guy. I think we ought to stick with Mike Montoya let's try Mike. And that's my opinion. But
we don't know who will replace Jay Hall, or did you think Jay Hall might be interested in his?
no, not Jay Hall, but his replacement, so you're talking about, right?
Yeah, well, they were just saying that was an idea to go ahead and get someone in there. I guess and I don't know Mike Montoya and all his background, but what I do like is if it's somebody who truly knows everything that comes before a county. And I think that legally Jay Hall couldn't say that because he wasn't our attorney.
Right.
But if we can contract with the KAC and he be our county counselor, then he can give definite legal advice.
So what happens if it goes backwards the other way? Somebody has something, I don't know.
We could,
I don't like
they haven't got it lined up yet. It was just something that I actually proposed to the KAC to consider. So, if you wanna go ahead and proceed and do Mike Montoya on the interim, I'm okay with that too. We can wait and see what happens at KAC.
I'm not interested in the interim. I guess we can see what happens with the KAC, but we have to be either in or out when we go with these counties.
Right, so the next step is just have the regional commission meet again
All right.
and have Mike there, and then we can discuss
Right.
more specific things, and then you guys can make an informed decision after that. I'm sure there's a contract that had to be drawn up,
Right.
obviously cost analysis, that kind of thing. So, there are some in our region that's interested, and there are some that are not, so we were just gathering that information so we know who to invite. So
Well-
that'll be coming up in the future. I don't have
I've,
any definite dates.
I've dealt with Mike on many occasions, and he is, in my opinion, if he needs to be, a rattlesnake. And he just will flat out say what he thinks exactly. He won't him all around about it. And,
Well, I haven't talked to
I mean,
him.
Truitt's done business with him through the appraiser's office for, I don't know how long. So, anyway, let's go ahead with what
The
we're
only
doing.
last thing I just wanna remind you guys about is, I do have the audit the week of May 4th.
May what?
May 4th is when that week is when I'll start the audit with the auditors.
That's next week.
Yep.
You sure you're ready for that?
I'm ready. Pretty much.
Okay.
to necessarily do, we provide a room, leave them be, they come to us when they need something.
So will you have to be with him, the auditor person, all the time, or
No.
you just put him in a vault or wherever?
Put them in a room, I
Are
give
they
them
in
the,
that room, by the appraiser's office? Is that where they go?
I don't remember where we have them at this year, but they just, there's pre-documentation I give them, and then while they're here, they pull documentation from my office, Jody's office, other offices. And yeah, they just, I don't sit with them or anything, they just do their auditing.
Cause I just noticed we got interviews slated for that week also.
Yep, so I won't have to be with them necessarily.
So what about the interview questions?
So interview questions, we've had, Sarah Hodges, Russ Thornton, Sheriff Thornton review them, Keith has reviewed
Well, how
them.
come I haven't seen them?
Because you guys are the last ones who'll get to see them, because then we have Chancey look at them. And so Chancey is just as it changes, so then, because you guys have the final say, so you'll be the last ones to see them.
Alright,
You guys are actually probably gonna see them, I don't know if Joe's gonna send them out or you'll see them that day.
well,
I think you guys
I
will
wanna
see
see
them ahead
them
of time.
before that.
That's what I
Yeah.
figured. I'll make sure he gets those sent to you.
So, yeah, so it's next week that we have them, right?
We need to see them beforehand.
That's fine, I'll have him send them to you. I figured he would, I just can't remember what his timeline looked like.
I would like to go into executive session for a minute regarding that, if you wanna go ahead and do that now should only take 5 minutes.
Yeah, regarding
That
non-elected
position, yeah.
non-elected personnel,
Do you want me
5
to,
minutes?
yeah, do you want me to make that motion?
Yeah.
Go ahead and do it now. Okay, I move to go into executive session for 5 minutes under the non-elected personnel exemption to include Tammy and the commissioners to resume in the commission room at 8:43.
Second.
Moved and seconded to go into executive session for 5 minutes, pertaining to non-elected personnel, to do with emergency management. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Okay. Do you want me to Okay, so I'll move to extend the executive session for 10 minutes under the, for unelected personnel to discuss the emergent management position, to include Tammy and the commissioners, and to return to the commission room at 8:53.
I will second that motion.
Moved and seconded to extend the executive session for 10 minutes, 8:53. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Shouldn't have called Chris.
Well, he probably No decisions were made, Dwayne?
No decision were made.
Anyway,
Yeah. Now, no decisions were made.
city airport, there are a lot of people, I think, they got a lot of money.
Did they get it from the foundation or they got it from?
Governor, where's that here? I think I got it on my,
Well, I think they've had more money to give away than they knew what to do with, because
well, yeah,
they
they
dumped
get more,
$4
they
million.
got more.
They dumped $4 million into Junction City Airport, and there is Manhattan just down the road about 15 miles.
Well, now listen, Dwayne, you gotta be able to land in Junction. Some of those military people.
That's Fort Riley. Yeah.
Keep you in trouble.
Yeah, you are gonna get in
Is it,
trouble.
well,
No, I think Marysville got 1.2 million or something.
they consistently get money because they consistently
But they're
apply
not
for
the
it.
only ones.
They consistently
deal.
apply for it.
Well, Minneapolis ought to be applying to other 19,000 is fine.
The trouble with ours, it's in a flood zone. They don't wanna put money into something that's gonna go underwater, I think.
Well, then why would they give anything then? If that's
I don't know, maybe that's why we're in the shape we're in.
Well, I know
Let's
Mary.
build it up.
I
That's
know-
what we ought to do right there. They ought to be applying for money so we can raise it about 3 feet,
And extended,
70.
Well, we used to have people that came and told us what to apply for, and we did it, and they consistently gave us money for the airport. We have that,
Come on in, Taylor. I think that's her. Maybe it's not.
since,
Is that her? I think you can tell by looking.
You guys need feedback, or not feedback, mental health? Yes. Morning.
hi there.
Hello. Hey, sorry, the weather in Salina was a little wild last night, we were just talking about it. So, anyway,
How wild.
So I'm Carmen Grant, I don't know if
Yeah.
one of you.
oh, I'll let you. Hi, Taylor Haas,
Taylor
I'm the
Haas.
community-based services coordinator that covers up here in Ottawa
And
County.
you are Gretchen Boyan Cranston.
I won't hold.
think I've
Hi,
mentioned
Chris.
before.
Hi,
Do I need
nice to
more?
meet you. I knew your wife. I taught after Bob Murray at Bennington for a couple of years.
I'm
So.
sorry.
Hey, no, Juanita was great to me. She was great
Well, I
to
thought she was talking about Bob.
Bob was great to me
Yeah.
too. I love Bob.
They had a great
Bob
team
and
down
Pat.
there.
They did.
So I just want you to know right up front, I won't judge you by your sister.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't got
Did see
nothing
your
bad to
niece in the
say.
gas station in Delphus the other day.
Yeah, she was up here, I think, hanging out with friends for a little while.
I think she was with her grandpa.
Oh, yeah.
In Delphus.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The little one then,
Yeah,
Mesa.
Mesa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's too cute for her own good, especially being the baby in the family. It's not fair to the rest of us.
Okay, just a second, I'm looking up something about,
No problem.
before I forget
I
what I'm doing.
definitely understand that.
Washington County got $1.2 million,
For the airport,
yeah. And we had 19, and then.
so it wasn't Marshall County, it
No.
wasn't Marysville, it was Washington, got 1.2.
But I mean, Ellsworth, all those people got a lot of money.
You just have to fill out the application. And you have, and also you have to commit to keep it going on a consistent basis, to stay on the plan for airports, I know that, so.
Okay. Well,
We were having an
No.
airport
We're
discussion.
having-
No, that's you guys have a lot you have to do for everything. I cannot imagine.
all right.
All right. Well, I'm here for Central Kansas Mental Health Center along with Gretchen for May is Mental Health Month, which we typically recognize in our counties. So I'll read the proclamation. Whereas we recognize that mental health challenges are common, with 1 in 3 adults in Kansas that report symptoms of anxiety and or depression, and 1 in 5 youth experience a major depressive episode each year. Whereas nearly half of Kansans experiencing a mental health concern do not pursue care, with stigma contributing to silence, delayed treatment, and worsening outcomes. And whereas rural communities are rooted in resilience, hard work, and strong community ties, yet experience unique barriers to mental health care, including limited access, concerns about privacy, and stigma that can discourage help seeking. And whereas stigma can lead to isolation, reduced access to early intervention, and increased risks of crisis, including higher rates of suicide and untreated mental health conditions in our communities. Whereas creating a culture of openness and understanding allows individuals to seek help earlier, strengthens connections, and supports recovery. And whereas Central Kansas Mental Health Center is committed to fostering communities where mental health challenges are recognized as real and treatable, and where individuals feel supported in reaching out to trusted providers, peers, and community networks. And whereas reducing stigma requires community-wide engagement through education, open dialogue, and collective effort to create environments where seeking help is encouraged and supported.
So
I
you,
had a friend last month commit suicide, farmer.
So, sorry.
It's just, boy, it's one of those deals.
It
Bad
is.
deal.
And
Nobody even imagined this was gonna happen.
And I've unfortunately heard that, especially about farmers. You know, we talk about the work farmers do and how significant it is to our communities and livelihood, not even just locally, worldwide. My dad and uncle are farmers, but a lot of times that tough exterior, that resilience,
Yeah.
can hide some
I can think of
difficulties that
another
are
two
heartbreaking.
That we had, that I was in service for, that had committed suicide, and just local, there's two
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
right here in Ottawa County.
Exactly.
That affected families.
You wanna make,
yeah, do you just want, Scott to sign this, the chairman?
Yeah.
Okay, so
She's
I'll-
got a,
I'll move to approve,
Yeah.
Scott to sign the proclamation that declares May as Mental Health Awareness Month.
And I will second that motion.
moved and seconded to have chairperson sign the proclamation for declaring Mental Health Awareness Month. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
our thoughts and hearts are with you guys, and the losses within your community just is hard.
Okay,
So I'll let you. Okay. Just doing a tap dance back there with Gretchen.
alright,
Yeah.
thank you.
Awesome.
Do
Thank
you
you.
wanna sign one for the county?
Would you send me a copy of that?
Yeah.
I can scan it and
I
send it.
will hand those to you so that I don't accidentally misplace them. Any other questions or anything?
No, thanks for what you do.
Absolutely. We are more than happy to. We are very thankful to get to be in your county and in partnerships with the schools in your county, and a lot of times utilize like public libraries and things like that. So very appreciated.
Okay.
Great
You
to
have
see
an
you.
active outreach in the schools? or
Yes, yeah,
residents?
yep. I actually supervise 2 case managers that work in the schools up here in Ottawa County, with youth identified as needing that additional support, and then we do have therapists that come and meet with kids in all the school buildings in the county as well. So yeah,
Okay.
trying to help in whatever way we can.
Thank you.
Thank you a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you all
Thank you
so
very
Have a
much.
safe trip.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a good one.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Morning.
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 I got one question before you get started.
Might have an answer.
I was looking just through that bill on the turbocharger and for that Freightliner,
Oh,
and it showed there's 625 for the core, and then it added 625 back in after that. Reason for that?
I looked at it and I can't, cause I looked at it last Tuesday, Monday, whenever it came in. Cause I was like, what the heck? And I had to double read it. I can't remember what it is now, cause they put it on, took it off, and I think we got it credited on another invoice coming in. If I
think
remember
did read
right.
something about that. I didn't know if that was, oh, yeah, there was a note there not paid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
okay.
say it was,
That's what that was, alright.
can't, because there's 3 or 4 pages attached to it.
Right.
I saw
That's
that
all.
note. Was that the note that said do not pay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that number 5 is a, what kind of truck?
It's pulls the low boy trailer and the belly dump trailer and
Semi?
Semi.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that was what my question was on that. All right, uniform discussion.
All right. So we have currently UniFirst. There you guys
Just
see
to
that
keep,
every yeah.
okay.
You guys get that every week.
All right.
Interesting reading.
Yeah. And then Cintas has been talking with us, and they gave us what their pricing and everything would look like.
So are they,
For them, they're about $100 a week cheaper.
A week?
so are
Yeah.
they, how long they been in business around? I mean, they-
Cintas? Oh,
Forever.
a long time. We had them years ago, and we kind of discussed some of the issues we had with them at the time. Having some issues with UniFirst that we've been trying to track down, and with not a whole lot of hope in sight with them not showing up on uniform day to pick up or drop off. And
So is the quality,
from what they told me and him and then a few other guys we had sit in, they priced the Cintas out as Carhartt, but you can get Cintas brand jeans, Cintas brand shirts. Omnia is what they go through, which is a government deal to keep the pricing low.
well,
And right now it just
$100
talks.
a week is,
Huh?
$100 a week.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. Yeah, we haven't really went any further with it other than showing some of the guys some of the samples they brought in, him and I and a few of the others discussing it, and then once he got that stuff, giving you guys the information to see if it's something you guys want to move forward with too.
Where are they based out of? They not have any place in Sliner or?
It
I-
says
Is it
Wichita.
Wichita?
Yeah, they have
Wichita, but
some.
They got a transfer, like a transfer station or
Yeah.
something in Salina.
Okay.
They have the same products as far as same shirts and vests and everything.
They don't do vests, which none of the uniform companies really do vests. We just buy those as we need them and keep them on hand. They do have the high class or high vis uniform stuff like the other companies do.
Comparable products anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's up to you guys if it'll say, if it's, if you think it's same quality, which
And
is important.
equally convenient.
Yeah, and that's there's still some more talks that we'd like to do with them to make sure that this is what it is. They're not going to change the prices 60 days
Yeah.
in type of thing.
Have they been, has UniFirst gone up a little bit at a time or
Mhm.
just all of a sudden?
Yep, and because me and the guy that I speak with, that's our representative from them, I called him. I'm like, why is price going up? Well, it just happens sometimes. I'm like, well, I want to know why the price goes up. And he goes, that's just what it is. Well, after we got to talking with them, I called and I said, when's our contract date end? I knew our contract was over because they're only on 5 years. Well, he tried to tell us that our contract didn't end until 2029. I said, well, I want to see the
Let me
signed
see that.
copy of it. And then that changed real fast. I said, oh, yeah, you guys are not in contract anymore. What's going on?
How long of a contract would we have to sign with Cintas?
5 year, he said.
Okay.
Which is pretty typical about any uniform company.
Well, it's your call.
Okay.
If it's good stuff and,
Keep digging, if you're comfortable with what you come up with,
Right.
why? You can save us $5,000 a year, why?
Right.
In the win column.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah.
Other than that, I mean, if we decide to go with them, there's a little bit of a turnaround, so we'll have to start them and cancel them. The other at the right time, because Cintas told us it was about 4 weeks to get uniforms, get everything set up. So it might double up at one point. I'm trying to figure that out. If there'd be a couple
Price
weeks
wise,
of it, might be
yeah.
a double up, but
All right, Cintas.
So the record keeping will go, if, one worker has spent half of his allocation, that will be carried forward still credit, you know, we're not gonna start I'm assuming the workers are all have an allocation per year to spend.
No, not on
No.
the uniforms.
We pay.
It's the
Okay.
county pays half and the employer pays the other
Right.
half.
Okay. I'm just worried about the bookkeeping
Oh.
nightmare, switching over.
Yeah.
Not
It-
changing bank
I
account.
want to set it up to where it's just a pretty straightforward transition. That way, when we're done, we're starting type of thing. I don't want any double bills, but
Right.
if it has to happen to where we have 1 week that you do have to pay both, but
Okay.
we'll
I
find
guess I
out
didn't
more.
understand that this was a weekly, I thought it was just you replaced them as needed, or they had a certain amount per year, that's what I thought it was, they had a
Oh.
certain amount to buy.
Bring a
per-
uniform every week. I mean,
Yeah.
5 days a week, therefore, whatever.
And that's why it's kind of sporadic on what it is. Like some guys just get jeans. Some guys get jeans and shirts. You know, it just whatever works best from them, and they wash them, bring them back. So you get 11 pairs. You know, you bring in 5. You know, on Wednesday you get back 5. It's
I remember
supposed to
you
be
said
how
you
it's
trade 'em
supposed to
in.
be.
You trade them in or something.
Yeah, well, and sometimes they got insurance on them, so if you tear one up and rip a leg off of them completely, they bring in a brand new pair. Supposed to. Sometimes you get it back once or twice before they get the point that it's no good.
Okay.
Keep digging, sounds good.
Department of Transportation.
So this is some homework for you guys.
We appreciate that.
Scott, you've done this before. So this is for that high-risk road that we have coming up. They're gonna let the inspectors on that. And each one of them that applied has a packet in there. And you read through it, and then on that grading sheet, there's a column that has each outfit's name, and you grade it based off of what's there in the line. And what it comes down to is once that all gets compiled and turned together, then that's how they
get
pick.
chosen.
Mhm.
Yeah, so, we do this,
Mhm.
this is ours,
Yep.
and so they're just letting it now?
The contractors will let June 17th, I believe, and this they'll do before. So I got it Wednesday, I think, last week to turn into you guys today, and then you'll kind of grade it all, and is a point system really.
Made it back by,
Monday at the latest,
Okay.
preferably. That way I can get it sent back to them, and they can go from there.
So all of them are enclosed here? This
Yes.
is their packet?
Yep,
Okay,
each
okay.
one of them has a packet in there. I
And
believe there's
to-
4 or
oh.
5 of them.
And to decide who to bid out, was that a decision by the state, or did you guys choose them, or that's just who
That's
responded?
just who responded. They put
Okay.
it out as that, and they submit that stuff to me in the state, and then you grade it based off the point system on the side for what column it is, you know.
So if we bring this back to you next week, you're okay with that?
Yeah, as long as preferably by Monday, you know.
Monday, is that fine?
Yeah, that
Okay.
way I can get that back to them.
So will the winner leave, or the selected person be based on our 3 determination of this? Is it just us?
You guys do it, I do it, and he does it.
So the 5 will be
Yep.
combined and,
And then basically it's a highest point system is who gets it.
okay. We accept the challenge.
Yeah,
Didn't know there was gonna be a test.
it's pretty easy.
I was wondering, so this is for old 81, right?
Yes.
This work. And whoever they select is who we will select as well to do our road work on there?
So they won't actually do the work. They will be the inspector,
Yeah.
the ones that sit on site as
these are
whatever
the engineering
contract,
firms?
yep, whatever
Oh.
contractor gets it, that's who's gonna inspect it, the work. That way, if the plans call for a transfer device, they verify that the transfer device is there being used, you know, and, different materials that are used, they have to be noted.
So once the engineering firm is selected, then they'll bid out the job to
Yep.
the contractor? And they will take care of that?
Mhm.
The engineers do that
Yep.
selection process? and then we will just piggyback on them for our road work,
Mhm.
for,
For
for
what do
our
you mean?
2-inch overlay that we're doing.
So that's contracted. The way we had that designed was for that price, being it was more than what the grant was. We had submitted
Already-
originally for them to do that. The state doesn't accept that because it's considered a maintenance item. And they told Joe and I when we met with them, if we could contract that 2-inch overlay in with this project, that's a way to get the pricing down on it because they're already there. There's no remobilization. There's nothing else.
So we won't make a decision on that, you'll just come and let us know what
It's
that
already-
portion's
yeah.
gonna be.
Yep.
Right, and it's
Yep.
just, the
'Cause
vote
they-
here is to see who is the manager,
Yeah, basically.
basically.
And me and Joe don't even get to pick the contractor. That basically comes as a bid system to the state and they will select it. And they'll let us know who got awarded it.
Okay,
So will they, know what the cost is before the construction's done?
Mhm.
Or are you
They
gonna-
probably have already about got it all put together. We'll probably see it here. I would bet within a few weeks, I would think, with them letting it in June.
Okay.
so, did you ever, hear from that guy on that mix?
Asphalt.
Oh,
Asphalt. It's no big deal, you can let me know later.
okay.
Just for the record, I'm not piggybacking for asphalt through the county. I am trying to buy some for myself with my own money for my own driveway.
Yeah, cold mix currently is 87.05 a ton, and hot mix is 84.50 a ton. And they have some old cold mix that they take some off, but you're gambling. A little
What
bit.
about delivery?
He didn't get back with me on
Okay.
delivery yet.
Well, I want hot mix though, don't I? For-
Both work.
To do it better. I mean,
Yeah, hot mix is a lot nicer, I
Yeah.
think, but,
it's cheaper.
and it's actually cheaper. Usually, it's just a little more.
Yeah. Okay.
One other thing I have that was kind of last minute, we had to get some culverts bought. We're running low. I sent 2 bids out, and I honestly thought it was going to be a little cheaper than it was. J&J Drainage for the 25 culverts is $14,125.50. Wellborn for the same
Excuse me.
culverts is $15,197.25.
How much was the first one? 14 what?
$14,125.50.
What was that company?
J&J Drainage.
So, have you done business with them before?
We've done with both,
Okay.
and they both have good quality pipe, and usually when we order pipe, I just pick the
It's
lowest
fine.
one.
Can I see it? Is this for mini culverts?
Yes, 25 of them.
I was like, surely that's,
Wellborn's about 15,000 something. That was-
Yeah. 15 something.
Okay.
okay, well,
No difference in quality, the same.
Yeah, both
steel.
16 gauge
Somebody
galvanized.
just wants our business a little worse.
Yeah.
And usually, I mean, in the past, Wellborn gets a lot of them.
Okay. Well, sounds good.
move to approve the bid by JJ Drainage for the amount of $14,125.50 for the purchase of 25 culverts.
I will second that.
Moved and seconded to approve the purchase of culverts from JJ Drainage. Is there any discussion? For $14,125. Any discussion?
How big were they?
They range from 18 to 24s to, there's a mixture of them in there.
Okay.
There's 3 different sizes. They're all 30-foot long.
All those in favor?
Alright,
Alright.
I know you've been doing a lot of road and bridge work, so are you gonna give us an update?
Not today.
Not today,
Yeah,
I
not
don't mean
today.
today, but maybe next week, just kinda show us. You know,
Yeah,
that
if
from
we
the
get
3
to it. I had just been busy getting all this stuff done, Purple Wave and the state stuff.
Did you
so.
send some stuff to Purple Wave?
No, that, another thing we gotta ask. Was there any decision made on the grader pickups for sure on what you guys wanted to do there?
You guys, I think we need to get rid of them.
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
They're expensive to maintenance and insure, I'm
yeah.
insure. I don't know what it costs individually to insure them, but, and then, you know, just do
Less
the
something less we have to
stipend.
work on.
Yeah.
But we just gotta know before we have our purple wave sale, cause I don't wanna have a purple wave sale and then later on down the road have another one if we decide to sell these.
Get rid of them.
Yeah.
So,
Do you-
so what are you gonna put on there besides those pickups?
There's dump trucks on there, there's miscellaneous equipment that we don't use, can't use, or
Are those, what, Sterlings that we couldn't repair?
there are some on there. I think we're actually only keeping,
We're getting rid of, we're only
Two.
getting rid of one Sterling.
Yeah.
We're keeping 2 Sterlings for Brian trucks.
yeah, and then all the Max are going.
The rendezvous.
Couple tractors.
I think I'd have to look at the list for sure, and then I've gotten with Sarah on some stuff she wants to get rid of too.
Scott's been wanting to get rid of that rendezvous forever.
Oh, here at the courthouse.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
And that's something we can do. I
Tell me
just,
goodbye.
once
That
we
needs to
get
go.
with Mike, I just need to make sure that, whoever I need to get with, if it's you or who it actually belongs to get it listed that way.
It's ours. It's what
Okay.
the county uses.
So I'll get with Tammy then whenever we get ready to make sure I have all
I
the
think maybe
details.
somebody
on it.
might have stole it because I didn't see it out here.
I haven't paid a lick of attention.
So how often does Full Wave do an auction?
No, they'll do them
Daily.
all over the.
Oh,
3 or
so-
4 a week.
Yeah.
But it takes
Takes
a good amount of time to get on it because they have so many auctions that.
Yeah.
If you set one up now, it probably won't be.
It might not sell till June.
June.
They
So
try
do
to
you
give
put
it.
your stuff so people can see what you have and so they have time to look at it? If
Well,
They
put
come
it
out,
all-
take pictures, Purple Wave.
Yep.
Put it on all their sites. People look, give their guys a reference call, or Joe, one or the other, or Cameron. I don't know who they'll do, but they call them. They come look.
And so do they, post it for a certain amount of time?
It just depends. Most of them seem to be about 3 weeks, usually, maybe a month.
Month probably about. All right.
So what are we gonna pay the?
We need to
motor
figure
graders?
out what's fair. What did we pay before? 60.
Yeah, there at the end, that's what it was.
What are you talking about?
It went from 40.
Well,
it
instead
was
of us-
45, and they went to 60.
Instead of, see, it used to be when
It's
a
a
grader
stipend
operator.
basically that goes on the
went to check his
operator's
roads.
paycheck
He
for
took
them
his
to
own
use
vehicle.
their vehicle to.
And
check
he
the
needed to cut
roads
a
and all
tree or
that.
something, he put a saw in his own vehicle and did it that way. Well, previous commission didn't think that's the way it should be done, so we bought pickups for everybody, which costs a lot more. But we pay them so much a mile
To use
to
their
their own
pickup?
vehicle.
Cause weren't you saying that you were gonna have the grader operators do a half day looking at what needs to be done?
And they've been doing that on and
And
off.
do they do that on their own pickup?
So what do you think it needs to
They're
be,
using
Joe?
a company truck right now.
Right.
But they'll use their own pickup for that?
Yeah,
And they just turn that in, that they've done it in the mileage?
no, we just put it in there, check.
Yeah.
Don't-
There's.
Oh, you give a certain amount across the board?
That's it. Because some months they may not use it. Like they may be in their blade and not have nothing, and then
Last
other
couple
months.
they wouldn't be, they'd be making money, but like today, they ain't making no money today on that.
Right.
No.
'Cause
It
they
just
use
depends
their
on the
own.
weather, really.
So you've decided that that's more economical than having the trucks?
I would think so. I mean, we've replaced axles on these things, rear end,
Gas and
seats.
insurance
Lost
Then
one to a flood.
lost one to a flood.
and, dang it.
That thing actually paid out a lot better than we figured it was going to for that thing. But
On the
So
front?
tell me, how much you think it needs to be? Does it need to be higher than 6 cents a mile? What do we,
It ain't a mile, Scott.
It's just
or
six-
$60 a day, week?
I
a month.
feel it does.
is what it was.
60 a month?
Yeah.
Just because of the gas prices, and I'm not going as gas prices right now, but just a few years back, they weren't. And and honestly, some months they're gonna make out like abandoned, other months they're gonna lose money on this. And now, if you pay them $100, it's gonna be, they're gonna make money sometimes and they're gonna lose a lot of money. If we get good rain, good monsoon season,
But it's gonna cost, way more than $100 a month for insurance.
exactly, and upkeep and tires and.
I don't know
Just like
what
I said,
gas
they've been,
insurance
every one of them
costs.
been in the shop, every single one of them been in shop.
Well, they're old trucks and that, they just don't,
Well,
you
and
can't.
the worst part is they set up these blade stations, and we try to keep it all cleaned up and grass down and rat bait in them, and you chasing mice and electrical problems.
Yeah.
Pack rats. That's what-
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what amount do you believe is fair?
I I honestly don't know. I mean,
What about,
it's a crapshoot. I mean,
what about 75?
Sounds good.
I think that would work.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I think 75 would be.
So that's 9 blades, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't.
Well, that's one Chris and I got to talk about. Really, it's 8.
It's 8 really, because the
Okay.
ones out of the
The one
shop.
out of the shop don't.
Okay. All right,
So you want a motion for that, Scott?
I guess we can.
So, and you want it to start whenever you sell these, or when do you want to start this?
Yeah, honestly, there's no point in starting it today. You know,
We'll just say whenever the
once we get them taken from the barrels to be put on the lineup to be sold. That's
when we
when we'll
list
have
them on
to
the
start.
auction?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's first of next month.
Yeah.
'Cause then that way that gives them time to get them all cleaned up, get it
Yeah.
to the shop.
So you wanna do it
Let's
May
Cameron
fir-
do it.
May first or June first?
June,
Well, our pay
May's
scale
coming.
ends the 24th and begins the
Mhm.
20th.
Right. So if
Well,
we
I
end
meant
it
next
the
pay period.
if we do it for the June pay period
That would start
Start,
today.
for the June
Today.
pay,
Oh, no, sorry, May 25th, you're right. May
Yeah.
25th.
Okay.
that way there's plenty of time there.
June
Nobody's
pay period, yeah.
getting a
okay. So I'll move that we begin reimbursing our motor grader operators $75 for the use of their personal trucks beginning in the June pay period.
I'll second.
moved and seconded to reimburse 75 to the maintainer operators for use of their personal vehicle. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
They're all okay with that?
And that's all I got for you guys.
Okay.
I could do with 5-minute recess before we move on.
Okay.
Okay, that's, I don't have anything either. Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Much rain around, any,
Joe had an inch just under, and I said Bennington had an inch.
No, Dave said he got 3 inches over the weekend.
Dave who?
Carson.
Well, I heard that, I heard
think we
that,
got
Are you
one
guys
inch on
doing a- Are
Saturday.
you guys doing a recess?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
He
I didn't
said,
hear.
he said that you got an inch one night and 2 the
Do you want me to make a motion to approve the payables?
Sure.
I'll move to approve the accounts payable for $63,922.79.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded to pay the bills at $63,922.79. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Paid that, did that, oh, that's taken care of. Carla, do you have any comments?
Well, yeah, I'll start and then I'll let Dwayne jump in. So, I did go and present to the seniors at Bennington High School and talked about local government there. There were 42 students in one room, so I think the spreading out was easier, but I was grateful to do that. And the same day I went back because they had that enactment of a drunken driver crash.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, and
That's
so,
interesting.
they have a SAFE program at Bennington High School. Do they have that at Minneapolis too? It's SAFE.
I'm not sure.
And anyway, so the Ottawa County Sheriff's Department was there, and the Ottawa County Fire Department, and the Ottawa EMS were there. And it actually had an example of somebody who was arrested for DUI as well as a death. And so I think it was pretty impactful to the students, and I'm grateful. They said they do it every 4 years, and they have the entire high school there. So, and they said they also do that at Minneapolis. Is that correct? Carl?
They have various scenarios off and on. I couldn't tell you whether it's every 4 years or not, but it doesn't seem like it's quite that long, but it could be different, cause it's been like, when it comes to prom time and stuff like that, sometimes they'll have.
Okay, that's why they did it, yeah, yeah, I thought it was a great idea, and, so,
Tesket's had them.
Dwayne and I went to the hospital board meeting, and Tammy, and I thought it was extremely helpful. They gave the history of the hospital, and maybe you've already heard all that, but she gave a presentation of how it had grown and how it's operating right now, and I don't think I truly understood that it is an Ottawa County hospital, and the money that we give them in the mills is to support it. And we pay the debt too, but it's actually our hospital, and then the whole operation side. And so that they have a board of trustees that makes the decision on all the management issues, and then they have a lease, a hospital lease with Great Plains, who actually manages the facility. So I didn't understand how that all worked before. Maybe you guys were both familiar with how it worked. But that was helpful to me and helpful to have the tour. And it's a beautiful facility and the clinic and everything. So we're very fortunate to have it here.
Yeah, we are.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
it re-encouraged the necessity of the mill levy and to understand that it's ours.
Was anything said about, bring up anything about the 1%? 1 cent, I mean.
No, I didn't bring it up, and it wasn't really discussed. It was really more the administrator presenting to us, and then we asked questions about the presentation.
Right.
So I thought it was very good. Did you want to say anything more about that, Dwayne?
No, I just enjoyed the overview, when it was established and how it has been added on to, and the different, facilities that have been added to it over the course of its lifetime since 1966.
It's grown a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, this is not lost both my parents there, so I mean, I've been in there a lot. I've seen it through the years. A lot of friends have passed there, older friends of mine, and so I've seen how it's grown and how it was, and I'm not saying it was bad then, but it grew with the times, and they kept improving, and they still continue to, and I'm impressed with the facility.
And they have that swing bed.
Yeah, that's really important.
And that's a beautiful area back there. So, did you have any comments you wanted to make, Tim?
Have to be,
No, I appreciate them having us, but I did wanna tell you guys, I thought I brought it up, and I apologize, I didn't. They did bring over their budget.
Oh, okay.
So I do have it in my office. I meant to bring it up to everybody and must have forgotten it downstairs. I had it in my hand this morning.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's always good when I go and I learn that there's something I didn't know before. So I thought it was at the KAC meeting. I'll jump in and then I'll let you take over, Dwayne. But the sales tax thing, so Mike Taylor always comes in and gives the update of this, of what the legislature approved. And you know, they denied all those sales tax, all 6 counties, kind of as retribution against each other, but
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
but it really, the tragic one, the most tragic one to me was the Ellsworth one, who the voters had already approved it.
Right.
And that really tells me a lot, that we probably need to get the proposal to the legislature early on, and try to get them to vote for it early on. Because to put it to the voters and not get it approved by the legislator is a kick in the face to all our voters. So I'm thinking we really need to focus on having it to the legislators, probably October, November maybe. And you think that's doable? I mean, we just really have to have the question to the legislators, right?
I don't know, but I do have Gilmore and Bell coming next week to discuss an overview of what it looks like to implement a sales tax.
Good.
Yeah.
So to give us all the information so you guys can make informed decisions. So I've been working on that for the last month, we finally got it nailed down, so he will be the main thing that happens next week.
And the other thing that I thought was, unfair to the counties is that we have to get that approval, but the cities don't have to. I think that's amazing, that we have to
It
go.
really is, well, it's not only amazing, it's what you would call discrimination.
Or detrimental to
Yeah,
us.
yeah. Discrimination.
That the cities have more home rule authority than the counties do, but,
That's kind of why I was pushing when, I think Abel was here talking about sales tax, he said we just had to pass a resolution. I was thinking it had to go legislatively. So
Yeah, well-
that's what the Gilmore Bell, hopefully he can kind of, because there's some of those 53 maybe already passed, so the one we want to do might already be included in that. I don't know, we'll
I
find
think
some
they
way.
kicked them all out as of the end of the legislative period, so nobody's gonna get a sales tax this year. So we just need to be in line to get it done next year, right? That's how I
What
do
if
it.
they just,
I mean,
I'm
it's
not-
legislative, but also leaving it to the end to have them vote on, I think we would press Dawn and all our other representatives, Elaine Bowers, Senator Bowers, to get them pushed through at the beginning of the session rather than wait till the
Yeah.
last day and it becomes a retribution-like thing.
Yeah.
So,
right,
so I do think we need to get on with that. And then I talked about the counselor and we decided to go with Montoya for now. And, I learned a couple things that maybe we need to, more information that we need to receive. And I talked to Tammy about it, about a couple things that were brought up from this Kansas state statute, and we're gonna work on that. And the other thing, and then I'll let Dwayne take over, was NACO really talked a lot about alternative energy, both wind, solar, battery, and data centers. And I'll let you take over on that.
I think we really need to reconsider NACO membership, because we are not NACO membership, but we've been reaping the benefits of their newsletter, their advocacy. They are on the cutting edge of alternative energy data centers. They have good information available for us. And I feel like I'm quickly getting out of my element as I push this down the road a little bit myself, that I need more people to come alongside and say, well, this is good, this is bad, this is something you've got to watch out for. The pilot programs were mentioned, and the early pilot programs for wind power were crude, we'll say. They didn't benefit the counties much. And all they are is payment in lieu of taxes, payment in lieu of taxes. And that is something that would really help us out if we had the data center. But my concern is for the residents of Ottawa County to be sure we have a setback, we don't have an obnoxious building out there with blowers or a lot of truck traffic, whatever it might be. I think once the thing is built, there would be minimal jobs, but it would be a big tax base. So we've got to watch that when we negotiate that into the tax base. And-
so,
Yeah.
so you're saying that we need to join back up with them. How much is, what are the dues, and how much more information would we be getting versus what we're getting now?
We would have access to seminars. I think it's about, do you remember, Tammy, did you ever see it, like $350 a year for
NACO.
NACO membership?
I don't remember, to be honest, I'm sorry.
It was $350 or $450,
Is that all?
yeah, it's not much at all.
Oh,
Need to
I can
find
see-
out,
let me see
because
if I can look real
I
quick.
can't imagine why we would have dropped them for that little,
Well, I
little
think it was,
amount.
because it was a national level and we
Right.
thought, how much will we use these services?
That was
I
my
think that
thought.
was the discussion.
When I saw it, I thought national, who needs an advocacy in DC,
Mhm.
we're dealing with Topeka, but,
I'm looking real quick, see if I can find it.
okay. But I think they do a lot more for the counties than what I realized a year ago, because that was my thought. I remember the discussion a year ago that we thought, well, they're at national level, we don't need anything at a national level, but
I think you're right about the discussion. We paid $450 for membership in 2022 and 2021.
okay,
So $450 is what we paid.
yeah. And we have ample money in our schooling or training or whatever in our account.
I needed
In the
to-
commissioner account?
Yeah, commissioner account, that we could take that out.
As long as that's all it is, I don't know how I got it in my mind that it was more than that.
That's me too.
I
thought-
think, well,
KBC.
national resource,
Yeah,
that was $5,000
Yeah.
a year.
That's what I thought.
And the NACO was, to be honest, I was just like, why do we need a lobbyist at the federal level? But that was before Jordan brought up data centers.
yeah, yeah.
Well, at least, yeah.
And so I just, I cut this out, I received this in the mail and it was, well, I will say that a lot of people have, not a lot, but a couple of handfuls of people, less than 10, have reached out to me and said, we really don't want data centers here. And then I read this article that was talking about, and I'll just send it to you, and I haven't read it all, but it was, they offered him $26 million for his property.
Yeah, but
And
it
he's, for a
it was-
data center.
But it was a big deal, I
And
think.
and they declined. Oh, you already saw that one before?
Not necessarily, I mean,
That
I've
was in Kentucky.
been watching them on, on my phone, and there's some in Iowa that offered them gazillions.
I mean, think about how tempting that is to our, and since we don't have any restrictions, it's kind of hard. We have no restrictions right now, right?
Right, Truett is redoing the zoning regulations through K-State. That was an ongoing thing, and they will be updated this fall, I believe, to reflect data centers.
So when you're talking about a data center, I mean, there's some of them that aren't very big, aren't there?
Right.
Well, they were also, one of the key things I picked up on is they said if it's a reputable data center, they're not gonna come in and ask for things. They're gonna, do you remember that comment? They said they will come in and present. Then there was another speaker who came in and said, well, incentives are 10%. So I thought they kind of contradicted each other.
He never got into that. He sat at our table the night before, David Kerr, who once spoke on Friday morning. And he never got around to that, elaborating on that 10% of the package, that the county or a county or somebody who isn't trying to entice a business to come in.
Did you show me a picture of one of them or something, or did I just think I was?
Probably did. They're available. They look just like a big old building, around.
Well, I mean,
Biggest machine.
I guess I'm trying to figure out why we wouldn't want it if it wasn't some big conglomerate and it was away from everybody that, that caused any, I mean, what do they say, the noise is something that's.
They said,
Right,
they say the noise, they say the water, so you have to make sure you have a closed loop system. And then the electricity, which we have to make sure that they generate their own electricity, what they will use, so it doesn't get pushed back to our users.
Right.
Those were the big didn't you
Right.
think
Those
those
are
is
the
a
big three.
negative?
Yeah, I remember that, you said that, but, so,
Yeah.
I don't know why we wouldn't be interested in something, like that, but, we don't want anything really that's gonna take up a quarter section of ground, like they're talking, the one they wanted was, for that $26 million deal was a big
Yeah.
damn
Yeah,
deal.
they're wanting 750 to 1,000
Yeah,
acres.
yeah,
But
but I don't know, I mean, we'll just have to
that's
play it
kind
by
of
ear.
that's up to the landowner, I think, if they want to
Yeah.
take their stuff out of production. I hate to see land come out of
Yeah, I
production. But we also need electrical production. We need data centers. We need a lot more.
Yeah,
And I think I just appreciate having NACO in our hip pocket to get more information, reliable information about what it takes to negotiate a good pilot agreement with these people, the pitfalls of it. Cause I've got stuff here.
if it comes to be, you're right. We would,
Wasn't
so.
that, it was wasn't that Acre Strong a negotiator that was there present, that had a booth, Acre Strong? They were a negotiator to make sure all agreements.
Well,
Right.
I mean, what I've seen of not necessarily but wind energy, I don't think that's turning out maybe quite like they,
Yeah.
I mean, so I've heard over in Lincoln County that, I think that was one of the first ones that went in.
Yeah.
And they're having failures, of course, it's expected after 25 years, but
Yeah.
I don't know if they're replacing them or not.
I don't know.
Well, see, now, like that guy that's a consultant, he said you have a decommissioning agreement. He specified 4 specific agreements you have to go enter into wind to make sure you don't get stuck with a decommission.
I'll tell you right now, I think it would be awfully hard to get wind energy in this county.
I agree.
You know what they didn't talk about a lot was battery storage. Do you know why? Cause
Well, we
isn't
already
that,
have one of them, don't we?
In the city.
It's pretty small.
Yeah.
Wonder how much that, per, I mean, how big, I know it's small, but
It's, don't quote me on it, but it's a matter of hours, I think.
you know where it's at,
no,
right behind Papa's Burger Mill.
okay. I drive back there to look at that bridge. What does it look like?
Just look to the south when you're going down that street,
Uh-huh.
it's right there.
West.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't, but they didn't address battery storage very much there, did you think?
I don't think they did.
They addressed solar. You know, when I was going into Charlotte, I saw a lot of solar.
Yeah.
And, then they were talking about solar grazing where they have goats and sheep under the,
I was shocked that there was goats in there, because to me, a goat's gonna wind up on top of that solar panel.
There is not any place a goat won't go.
I thought, how is this working? Yeah.
They'll find a way, I mean, a goat will find a way to kill itself, or get on somewhere it ain't supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see sheep, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
and the other thing that I didn't realize on solar panels is they turn throughout the day.
Mhm.
I didn't know that they,
They maximize the
Well,
input.
Yeah.
do we need a motion to do this?
Yeah, can I make a motion that we join NACO?
Do you guys,
Did you get a price?
I got the 450, and then you guys do currently have $750 available in your dues and subscriptions. You also have some reserve funding and some miscellaneous, miscellaneous is very high.
do you, so does it run calendar year to calendar year? Do we want, I mean, I'm just saying, so
We better
it's,
get on board right away if we're gonna
Yeah.
keep on it.
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know when it runs calendar year to calendar year, but, if we make a
Check
motion
into it but go ahead and make the motion.
To join
to join NACO.
appropriately through the
Yeah.
year, whatever.
If they prorate for, a quarter of the way through the year.
Well, if it's for the full year calendar, I'm okay with going ahead and paying for the full year. But
Okay.
if it ends June 1st, I'd rather just wait and
Right.
join
Okay.
July 1st. Do
Okay.
you wanna go ahead and wait till we find out and do it next week?
You got permission to do it, so,
Okay.
I mean, if,
We'll
let's
just
just
do it.
wait till we
Do it
find
to
out.
the best judgment, or wait till, I'll call her and say, okay, we've signed this up, but when's your calendar year round?
Yeah,
Right.
and we'll bring it next week?
Yep.
Okay,
That'll work.
Okay,
So you're on the agenda for next week?
yeah,
You want on agenda for next
you'll
week?
bring it next week?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. I think if I remember right, she said she would even come and explain some of the programs that they have and some of the benefits of being there, so.
Well, I think I talked to you after that one meeting at, what was it, 345K, I'm gonna mess
Yeah.
this up.
The 3.45 kilovolt line
Three,
that we need, and Josh Schwati is working on that to see if this line out here that I've been talking about in the eastern part of Ottawa County is in fact the 3.45K. Because that is necessary to supply power to the data center.
Right,
but then they said it also, the 2 requirements were that plus a utility source, right, an energy source?
Right, and there's where that interconnect agreement comes from, and I've seen that Evergy is working with TerraPower on the nuclear side of it to get an interconnect agreement. But I haven't touched base with Paul Hughes in the Topeka lately to be sure he's still on top of it and has any new information for us about data centers.
I thought it was interesting, they put that one slide up there that said, in 2024, that the electricity, the coal generation has gone from 58% to 22%. So they definitely are relying on, wind and solar,
And natural gas,
yeah.
I think there's.
So have, either one of you had anybody knocking on your door about solar?
No, did you?
Yeah,
Although, some people in Bennington did, it was kind of a weird thing, because they had to do
Yeah, I'm
it
not-
right away.
right, they're pushing it, and they kept saying, well, you can just go pay it right through your Evergy bill. Well, the last time they told me that, I called Evergy and they said, they don't know anything about that.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
yeah.
and then, well, your neighbor's gonna do it. I said, which neighbor? Down the street.
That's a scam.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so,
Well, I think solar is way higher price.
It's about a wash usually.
yeah, and I don't want it on my roof.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, they said it has to be, the perfect situation is an intersection of the 3, 4, 5, you said KW, I put it on KB transmission line, and a large natural gas line. They said that's the perfect,
Yeah, which I'm thinking maybe northeast Ottawa County does have a natural gas line that runs across up there. I know there's one that crosses 81 highway down about Pike Creek, it's a natural gas line, and runs off to the northeast.
there's one there, and, I don't think there's one north.
That might be the most north one.
but I have had some people, email me and send
There's one that goes-
articles and said they were
There,
against.
there are gas lines, different gas lines that go across there, but I don't know if they're the right type of gas. Or a main line. There's one that goes right by, north of the fertilizer plant on 120th, cuts across there. And then, but I think we talked about gas a couple years ago or something, and the one that goes by Steve Clanton's, I think is the one that is a big, that's a bigger, I think that's the one we get the most money off of. But anyway,
Yeah.
you typing all this stuff we're talking about? Or who you, I said, I think you were. Alright, well,
And the only other thing that, are you done with talking about that, or did you wanna bring something else up?
I've got a railroad crossing grant
Yeah.
that popped up available.
I seen that.
And I did have a constituent talk to me about the railroad crossing on the old 81 highway.
Somebody said that's, I've been reading on the internet that it's malfunctioning weekly.
I've seen it several times from my vantage point up the valley.
The one just north of 18?
Yeah,
on
when
Old
you come to the dead
81?
end out of Bennington and then go north, that railroad
Yeah.
crossing you come to. I can see that from my deck, and there's never been a train around, but you see the arms are down and the lights are flashing and people are stopped, and well, what do? Do we go on through? There's no train, what's happening? But,
So I have to ask, have you contacted the railroad about it?
yes,
There's been a lot of contact. I
Yeah.
think they're
Is that Kyle or UP?
Kyle, and it's,
But if we couldn't go in and change that, when you get a railroad grant, wouldn't that be at the crossing, not that?
yeah, that has nothing to do with
yeah,
it.
it
They'd
is
be
the
separate.
the
This is the road deal,
Right.
and so when I'm curious, does it cover dirt roads, gravel roads, crossings? Because, there's every one of them in the county, their history
Yeah,
are not very good shape, especially the ones right, well, I mean, there's one down in Bennington's terrible.
Was that from KDOT?
No,
no, it was gorail.org or something.
I think you might have got, did you get it on your,
Go rail?
did you get an email about it?
Betsy Cantwell.
Yeah. Betsy Campbell, yeah.
I checked my emails Friday, was it over
It
the?
came after that. I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've checked mine over the weekend.
So have you got grounded?
Have I got grounded?
Your husband say you leave that here over the weekend?
I was telling the other commissioners, the hardest part about a Monday meeting is I spend weekends working on commissioner stuff. That's the hardest part about.
So you leave that here over the weekend now, so your husband doesn't,
No, I usually come and work here,
okay.
and then I leave it, because then I don't work on Sunday, but.
Dawn used to tell me, I just can't hardly stand, I work all till Sunday night till midnight, and I said, well, I'd leave it off, I can't do that. Well, I don't mess with mine on Sunday,
Once I finish,
come Monday morning at 6 o'clock.
once I finish prepping for the meeting, I don't take it home. But, so Dwayne, I didn't have a chance to ask you, did you go to this risk management meeting?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So was this in the hopes of keeping that grant that we haven't got reimbursed?
That's part of the requirement. And part of the requirement, or part of the statement at the risk management meeting was that we've had some injuries when we've been out trimming limbs and doing chainsaw things, you know, that type of thing. If there's a way we could see clear to get a hydraulic arm chainsaw, you know, I don't know how expensive those are, but the proper equipment will go a long ways to prevent injuries.
Well, did we,
You know,
they just took that training, didn't they all just finish that training on small, like chainsaws?
Yeah.
Was
I
that
think they
last week?
I don't know when it was, don't know.
I was glad that they were utilizing that training.
Extended arm,
Did Keith call that
chainsaw.
meeting? Keith did? Okay. And then the other thing we talked about there was property taxes, and, I told Mike Taylor, I don't think you were in my small, I went with the mid-county
I
size.
saw you, we were in different groups.
You went to the small county
Yeah.
one? Okay, so I went to the mid-county one, middle-sized county one, and, I told him that all these proposals for these these valuations, none of those are helping the counties. I don't care what you do with the valuation side, what limitation you put on the valuation side, until they reimburse us some money back from the state level, it's not gonna help our citizens. So I proposed, and Mike's gonna, you know, kick this around, I guess, with everyone, but I proposed that they give us a certain amount back for the 18 critical services on a per residential household. Like how, just at the State House to kick that back to us, to offset these 18 critical services. I figured my residential household would be the best. But, to me, it's frustrating because they're not looking at that, none of those are gonna help the counties. None of those proposals are helping the counties, because all they're doing is playing with one side of the calculation, and the other side, where the cash comes from, they're not helping at all.
My group briefly touched on Adam Smith from Wallace County. He's a legislator from Leoti or somewhere. And he introduced something, he's on the taxation committee, and I thought he had a plan that would address all of that, and
Was
It
it
didn't
giving
apply.
money back to the counties?
I think it was. It was something that would
Do you know
really
what it
be
was tied
honest.
to?
It would be honest tax relief from the state. And that's what we're looking at, that's what we're needing. And I've got an email into him, you know, so that I could get more information from him. And I think if a lot of counties get behind his plan, you know, it was one of those things that they don't, I don't wanna say, if you've got the right last name and the right power sword in Topeka, you can get your legislation moved out of committee into something for the body.
Yeah, but since they made absolutely no progress on property taxes, I don't think that made anything. But again, all the ones that I saw, and even the one that's on the governor's desk that they anticipate her vetoing today, is this the last day, I think?
Yeah.
Anyway, that doesn't help our taxpayers. I mean, to limit the valuation is not gonna help our taxpayers.
That's why I wanna get a hold of this Adam Smith and find out exactly what was in that, because it was something that didn't meet the criteria, you know, of somebody that's in power, like Karen Tyson, or somebody that managed to strangle this HB 2712 bill that was for the,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm not, no.
because she had a pet project she wanted to get out of the legislation, so she held that bill hostage. That's why we can't choose our sales tax rate right now, because she
Because-
held that bill hostage in lieu of wanting to get it out, so it all just fell apart and
Well, maybe we need to meet with Karen Tyson,
Ah,
because,
not I.
no, I'm just thinking
You got
Karen
it.
Tyson, I mean, I don't care. I asked what her background was in that meeting, if she had ever been a county commissioner,
yeah.
and they said no. To find out, to see if she understands the impact, how it works at the county level.
No.
She came to that one meeting one time in Ottawa County.
Okay, I might not have been there, must not.
This was like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, she was here to stir up trouble. She was. She was here to well, I better just be quiet for all.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if she's nearby, I think that I would love to go and explain to her how many of these bills aren't helping our taxpayers.
Go girl.
And,
Go
and,
get
and
her.
the petition side makes it even worse at the county level, that whole petition thing. So I'm kinda grateful the governor is vetoing it, because at least we're back to the normal R&R.
Yeah.
Instead of having that petition option, not that I'm against people's, but it's added burden to our county clerks if that petition thing went through.
Well, when the R&R deal went through, I was in a meeting with about 110 county clerks, and they were all ready to hang her. They were mad.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll have some good news from Adam Smith that we can get behind him and push him a little to get this new idea that he has for true reform, true relief for the property tax.
Relief, that's what we want, relief.
Right, relief.
And they talked about that local government group, which Don Wolf is a part of, it's a local government group. But there was a lady there from Barber County that was talking about, we need, as county commissioners, to have a voice to present to them, who will then present to the entire legislature to represent us. So she, being proactive, instead of saying that a bill is really bad that they're discussing, to present a bill that will give us
Right.
relief on the front end.
Right.
Did you guys discuss that in your group?
Not really, I think we were focused more on, it was the doom and gloom as to what had gone wrong and what we were not getting out of Topeka with relief.
Well, they came down to, if you're not gonna give me this, I'm not gonna give you
Yes.
this. And it went, I said, this said, and so they all just got mad at each other and didn't
Yeah.
approve anybody's stuff.
Yeah.
And that's childish.
And how one person can have so much power to have an overwhelming support from the Senate and from the legislature on HB 2712 to get the to get the sales tax into the hands of the counties that really need it. They have support, let it decide by the
Or
people.
give them the opportunity, yeah.
And that was held hostage by Karen Tyson. She would not let it come out of committee.
Because she was mad at.
She wanted this 3% cap, amendment that she was, for evaluation, she was holding it hostage to try and get support for that. Well, there's too many people that have too much power in Topeka, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, with the 6 counties that got rejected on that, plus us, who we want to do in the fall, should be part of the local committee to discuss it with the local representatives, that representation that Don's part of, Don Wolf. So,
Okay, you were talking about injury with,
Yeah.
made me think of something here. So for a little over 10,000, they can get a saw that goes on a skid steer
Oh, okay.
that you can, I'll take a picture of it, send it to you. But I'm sending a picture of a saw that goes on a skid steer, cut trees way up in the air, to both commissioners. Maybe unless I.
you gonna send it to Chris too?
Yeah.
That was the one thing I think that came out of the risk management meeting. I mean, there was other stuff that we did, but that was.
Was Chris there?
Yep. Well, I don't know.
Or Joe?
I don't remember. No, I don't know if they were. Tammy relayed it through the HR that there were some injuries.
That's part of the risk management, is we go over all injuries and.
Right, but Chris wasn't there, was he?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
So nobody was there to represent Road and Bridge?
no, Tammy just recapped those injuries through HR that they've been reported.
How many?
4, was it?
6,
6?
just for the last quarter. We had 6 workman comp,
From trees,
risk management workman comp claims that we had to go over.
chainsaws?
Not all of them, no.
Oh, okay.
I thought 4 was maybe chainsaws and the other 2 were,
Yeah.
4 stuck in my head, I don't remember why.
4 were through one department.
What?
4 were through one department, 2 were from another department. That might have been where you got your 4.
Okay. But if we can do something, you know, to eliminate some of the potential for injuries, you know, that's what risk management's all about. Whether it be an air hose in the shop that's a trip hazard or whatever it might be, you know, that we need to really look at that if we can do it for little or no cost.
I sent it to you, and I sent it to Dwayne. They're slick, I'll tell you, you can just go right down that. I mean, we have a deal that goes on the back of a traco, but it's like a big brush hog, and it just, you know, it cuts all the limbs and makes it look like crap, but it'll get rid of them. But this has got a saw blade on it about that big around, and you
Just like a big old buzzsaw.
it's coming your way, or you can see
Okay.
it. So anyway, something to think about. I know we're spending money, but that's
Yeah.
to save somebody from getting hurt
Yeah.
in the bucket of a loader or,
Yeah.
you know,
You sure you sent it to me?
I just did.
Okay.
I think, sure I did, didn't I?
I thought it was a little bit laid back.
It hadn't went through yet.
No.
You have anything else, Tammy?
Yeah, I'm all done.
Carl? You can't come to these meetings and not talk. All right, well, I don't have anything. So, I think if there's anything from Del. I don't know why that's not going through. Taking its time, Dwayne.
Okay, I think it's time to adjourn at 10:10.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to adjourn at 10:10. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Well, it's not